when we started today's podcast, just before we sat down, you asked me a question. I said, I'm going to think about that when I'm in the bathroom. I'll be right back. I got back. What was the question?
I said, what's the best show that you've done recently?
My answer. Do you remember the answer?
You said everyone's like, it's got some special moments that every show.
It's how everything's connected.
That's right.
There isn't one episode right now that I'm excited. It's about, I feel better about the work I'm doing today than ever before because I'm following the clues and there's patterns. They're like success recognizes success, and I'm getting these testimonials from people. I had no idea they're working with the people other people I'm getting on the show. Yeah, and it's just when you do good work, man, it shows, man.
That's pretty cool.
To your point, like you focus on the quality of the product. And when you take the energy and you try to do good work, if you just focus on the quality of the product, it shows. Yeah. And I think using word of mouth to like chase the truth. Yeah. There's like, you see these patterns and that manifests the quality of the product. I think the show is better than it's ever been right now. I'm bragging.
I love that.
But like you just reinforced what I was sharing earlier. Yeah. It's just, wow. It's exciting. Sorry.
I love it.
We'll bring it back to you.
Why do you do that? I know you've kind of mentioned that before, but let me ask you, why do you continue to have that kind of integrity? Like, sell out is probably a bad word for this. You like that the connections it's like interconnected. Right. And that's your a pride. You're proud of that.
What up, Unstoppables? We have a great episode today, but real quick, we want to invite you to make the most important investment of your life. It's not a secret. There's no smoke and mirrors. I'm not even trying to pull a fast one on you. I'm going to be pretty straightforward. The best investment you can make in your life is in yourself. And the best way to invest in yourself is by investing in your network, putting time and energy, surrounding yourself with the best. You are the average of those you surround yourself with. In that Restaurant Unstoppable network, I made it easy. Over the past 12 years and 1,200 plus episodes, I've been researching and talking to people and trying to figure out how do you become successful in the restaurant industry. And I've curated a network of tools, services, technologies, and individuals, experts that I would go to tomorrow if I'm opening a restaurant. And I'm bringing you to that network with live events, whether it be a workshop, a mentoring session, a power hour, or access to me twice a month where I just listen and steer you in the right direction, all happening at Restaurant Unstoppable Network. Head over to restaurantunstoppable.com/live. You also get this amazing access to all the recordings, RU Network podcast, which includes bonus ad-free and early release content. It also gives you access to our Unstoppable bot. It is a custom AI agent that is fed with 1,200 plus transcripts, over 2,400 hours of transcripts plus bonus content, all cross-referenced with our database. This is a powerful AI tool that you also get access to as well. What are you waiting for? Head over to restaurantunstoppable.com/live and we'll see you there. This episode made possible by Restaurant Systems Pro. With excitement, allow me to introduce to you today's guest, CEO and founder of Cilantro, Jae Kim. My man Jae, are you feeling unstoppable today?
I'm feeling unstoppable today. Thanks for having me.
Dude, I'm stoked to be here. So this is my second time talking to you. We're literally sitting right where we were the last time I was here in 2020. March 24th of 2020 is when your episode went live, which means we're probably talking January, February of 2020. The world was a great place. Things were good in January 2020. Right. It was going to be my year. Yeah. I was moving to Austin, Texas. That's right. You were about to franchise and scale like crazy.
Yeah. That was before COVID.
Yeah. So when I last spoke to you, you were at, it was episode 701, March of 2020 was when it released. 8 restaurants, 2 food trucks, 2 trailers was where you were at. And you were in the process of the initial franchising paperwork and all that stuff. Yeah. So real quick before we kind of go forward, where are you today? What are your total numbers in terms of locations?
We are at 13.
13?
Yeah, 13 locations. Okay. We expanded out to Houston. Okay. And San Marcos. So outside of Austin.
5 years, 8 to 13, 5 new locations. So averaging 1 new location a year.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome, man. And all QSR? or fast casual?
Fast casual.
Fast casual.
Yeah.
In your mind, what is fast casual? Like, what makes it fast casual?
Serving fast with high quality ingredients.
Got it. And in terms of like economics, can you share like prime costs and that kind of stuff per unit, like averages and stuff like that?
Yeah, our AUV is 1.5.
Okay.
We have some units that are doing 2 million.
Wow.
We have some units that are doing under 1.5. But I would say our AUV
Average.
is 1.5. Our food costs in the mid 20-ish percent. Our labor costs as well.
So 50% prime costs, approximately. Give or take.
I think more than that.
53%.
But we're in the mid 50s.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
And it's getting harder and harder to maintain that number.
Oh, absolutely. It's harder.
Yeah. So what about your average occupancy percentage? Where's that at?
I've signed leases where it was 4%, 5%.
Wow.
So our average, but in the recent years, it's been 8 to 10%.
Yeah, in 2010, it cost you $500 a month.
That's right.
Yeah, your food truck.
Not anymore.
The good old days.
Not anymore. So, with average, you're still good. It's an ideal, but yeah, it's been challenging recently.
Yeah, and also, we'll get into that, man. You're not alone. I think that's really important why we have these conversations, because I think sometimes when our four walls, we're looking at the numbers and we're like, this isn't where I wanted to be right now.
Yeah.
But it's a universal. It's hard for a lot of people. And I think it's important that we're transparent, so we can say like if we're all like this, and there's a bigger issue that we need to address.
That's right.
So like, I appreciate when people get vulnerable and they show that stuff, but it sounds like you're doing great, dude. 55% prime costs.
Yeah, it's not. I think it's an average we're talking.
But you're operating in the black.
Yes, we are. Which is
more than many people can say right now.
Yeah, we're very thankful to be in this situation. But you got some new restaurants that are in the building stage, right? Like so, the first 12 months to 18 months, it's a struggle.
Yeah,
with the sales,
right.
With team members, so it's a grind.
Yeah. We'll get into that. I want to unpackage it as we go.
Yeah.
But before we kind of go back to where we left off in 2020, let's get that motivational, inspirational ball rolling with a success quote or a mantra. What do you got for us?
Man, right now, my thing is appreciate for the small wins.
Appreciate for the small wins.
Yeah.
Why is that what you want to talk about?
It's always a problem or challenges or issues that we run into, and sometimes I forget to appreciate the small wins.
Yeah,
and we got a ton of small wins that are going on right now. So,
what are some of those wins?
Internal promotions. I would say that's probably the biggest. Yet the small wins that we have, the people that's been with us for a long time, they're getting bonused out. They're getting promotions. So those are some small wins that accumulates to big wins. We recently got to serve at Austin FC Stadium.
FC, is that where the college plays? University?
The stadium, the soccer stadium. Yeah. So we started vending there.
Nice.
We have a bunch of events at GRB Center, which is in Houston. So some of these small wins accumulates into big wins, and sometimes I forget, and I just kind of, we got that done. Let's move on.
We're always looking to like the big picture where we want to be.
That's right.
As you're a visionary, 100%, hands down. I now know that you're an EOS lover. You
yes, I am.
EOS at your Cilantro locations.
Right.
I didn't know that back in 2020.
we've been doing it for a while.
Yeah, man. So I can't wait to talk about that. But you are in EOS language are a visionary.
Yes.
Right. And like you're always dreaming about what's possible. Let's go is what you were saying in the first interview. Let's get there. Let's go.
Right.
Like people are saying you're going too fast, and those are your integrators saying, "Have you thought about this?
Yeah.
Like how are we going to do that? Like what money do we have to do that?" And
That's
like these things that you shared in episode 701, and it never ends. But like we're always looking to the future.
Yeah.
And all you can do is what you can do today and win today. Be a better version of yourself today.
Yeah.
And sometimes we don't recognize what the progress we're making because we're so focused on the future.
That's right. Yeah. We're trying to get to the end goal, and then you forget.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah. Great way to get this thing started. And you guys have come a long way. What is the big vision for you?
I've coming into 2025, I knew that I kind of felt that with the economy, it wasn't going to be a smooth ride. I knew that it was going to be shaky. I knew that we couldn't raise our prices to our customers, or something that I didn't want to do because we've been doing it during COVID years. And even with tariffs or inflation, like that's something that we didn't want to do. So we started focusing on these small things: food costs, labor costs, just controlling it better as an operators. And for the big vision that we have is making our operations where our guys have the confidence to run a store with just having good confidence under their belt, and empowering them to run it better, and that they feel like they're winning every day.
Do you have a goal in terms of like the amount of units you want to scale to?
I used to think about that a lot. Right now, I'm not thinking about that as much anymore.
What is when you first started? Like, what was the dream? Like, was there a number in your head?
Yeah, initially I started with 100.
Okay, just 100 or hundreds.
100 was my initial goal.
Okay,
and then it came down to 40, and right now we're at 13. And my goal right now is to double in size, and the reason for that is I think I know my wheelhouse. Like, I think I know what I'm good at. So I want to be able to contribute the skill sets that I have, the pros that I can contribute to the company, instead of being ambitious but not having, we talked about fun earlier, not having fun along the way. Like, I want to be able to have fun and hire the right people along the way that can help us get there.
Right. So in my mind, that's freedom of purpose, like having fun doing what you like to do for a reason that matters to you and others,
right?
And choosing the people you get to do it with. If you can check those two freedoms, freedom of purpose, freedom of relationships, in my opinion, you can work 100 hours a week as long as you're loving every minute. It brings you, maybe it's not sustainable for the long run,
right?
But like it'll give you that initial energy and drive to get it going to where you can remove yourself out.
That's right. That's right.
So the money will come eventually too.
I agree. I think our Cilantro brand itself can get to 100 or hundreds, but you and I are just talking about just me personally. Right. And I think,
how far do you want to take it?
That's right. I think I know my wheelhouse, and I will continue to contribute. But yeah.
You said, I know what I'm good at. Mm-hmm. So what are you good at?
Good question. I think I'm good at, let's see. I know what I'm not good at. Let's talk about what I'm not good at. Yeah. I don't come from a finance background, so finance is not my strong suit. Yep. It's something that I have to put an effort to. Like people management. When I see my team manage people, and I'm just amazed. Like, they have the patience, they're methodical, they're kind, they just have good heart, genuine good heart, and good intent, and I'm just it's just admiring, and I'm gonna have to say, like, that's not my strengths.
Yeah. So not good at financials, not good at being patient with people, that process of growing and training people.
Training people, yes, and managing people. Yeah.
What else are you not good at? Let's really hang it all out there, man.
Yeah. I probably too hard on myself a lot of times.
What about operations, building out like efficiencies, like in the details?
Yeah. You know what I'm good at is starting. I'm a fast starter, and I rely on people to make systems for us. And I didn't see that as my skill set, but I trust and I empower people to do these things for us, and they take pride in doing it.
Yep.
And I just get out of their way, and have them do it. And what I'm good at is also giving them feedback as to like what we can do, make things better.
So where in terms of your organization, how many chiefs are there? You're the CEO. You got any more chiefs sitting up there with you?
Yeah, I now have a business partner. He's also CEO of our company, Ryan. So he runs our operations. We have director of HR, people management, project manager, sales team that supports our catering sales, and district managers who oversees our Houston and Austin district.
So like regional managers?
Regional managers, yeah.
So, okay, that was a COO, HR, and project management, and then regional managers.
Yeah.
And that's, was that since we last spoke? Or did you have these things in place back in 2020?
Yeah, I think we had more.
In 2020?
What I've done recently, coming out of COVID, was really reevaluate what our company should focus on and delegate the services that we're not good at, or it costs too much to operate if we were to do it. So in terms of accounting and finance, we now delegate to a different partner, right? And in terms of marketing, in terms of social media content, we delegate that out. So we have somebody who runs our social media.
Okay. I mean, I think these are great lessons. These are great learning. You know, I think, again, the small wins, right?
Yeah.
We're always focused on the future. Sometimes you have to take a step back to take a step forward, because like you get aggressive, you go for it, you ready, fire, aim, right? You fire, you say, okay, we figured out what that's like. Let's take a step back with all this new information, regroup and go forward again. And it sounds like there's like a
that's exactly
slow down
right.
and speed up.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
We were hiring to grow into, versus we realized that some of the services that we had it in-house was not worth the investment at the moment that we were in, and that outsourcing, we were getting better service, better outcome in a timely manner.
Okay.
So
this is all helpful. We're gonna go deeper into all this, but I'm just kind of, you see my approach now. I'm just listening. I'm curious, man. Like, I have no idea what we're gonna talk about. So when you started Cilantro back in 2010, the dream was 100 locations, right? When would you say, you said maybe 40 locations is more appropriate? When was that starting to when did that come into your mind?
Yeah, I think just learning about the industry.
What year is that? Give me a year.
Man, it's hard to say.
Were you at 2020? Were you thinking 40 locations? That's what I want?
2020, I think we were talking about franchising. So that was one of the high options that we had. I think the timing was great, and we were trying to expand. And at that time, I owned 100% of the company, and I thought franchising is the right way to go. Whereas, as I continue to learn about our industry and the capital intensiveness of our industry, right? Building out a location costs anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million now because of the rise in costs. That shifted my thinking process to, less, but make it better.
So focus your costs, like your food, do less on the menu and do it better.
Yeah.
So what did you take off of the menu sense? Or is it not talking about food?
Yeah, it's not taking off the food. I'm talking in terms of four-wall improvements. Okay. Right?
Got it.
So make it
internal operations.
That's right.
Got
make
it.
better internal operations. And there was a moment. So my current investors are now Chewy's executives.
Oh, we mentioned the Chewy's in the first time, or the Chewy's. He was a mentor.
Yeah. They were mentor. Now they're investors. And one of the things that
when did this happen?
This happened right after COVID.
So 2020 or
2022.
2022. Okay.
And 2020, coming out of COVID, 2022, 2023. So it's been about 2 years, 2.5 years. And Steve Hislop, John Mumford, and John Howie, they've all been a mentor of mine. And they just like hit it right on the dart and say, Jay, like, why do you want to grow so fast? Just if you have 4 walls at its maximum capacity, that's better than like opening up few locations. Like, just increase your revenue, your EBITDA margins, and like take care of your guys, and everything will follow. They're like, trust me. And like, I was like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. That was like an easy one.
It's like, dreamers and visionaries have big dreams, and they are always looking to move. If they're not going forward, they're not going anywhere.
That's right.
But our challenge is slowing down sometimes. And we get so distracted by the next thing that we're not paying attention to the thing that matters the most. It's like, what are we currently doing right now?
That's right.
So it's like, I say it's a difference of putting your energy out versus putting your energy in, and transformation comes from the inside out.
That transformation helped us a lot. So one of the things that we've done were paying our guys better, like incentivize our GMs better. So we flipped our bonus structure. We redid our bonus structure to make sure that, hey, if we become more profitable, there's more money in your pocket. And there's more money in your pocket when you internally help others to grow, right? So the basic needs of, hey, you can make more money by being a GM at Cilantro. Like, we needed to take care of that.
Yeah, that has to be a true statement.
That's right.
And it's oftentimes not in the restaurant industry. Like, you're taking a step back and you're taking on more responsibility.
Right.
Like, we wonder why people don't flock to this industry.
Yes.
Like, because it's not a straight vertical trajectory, or like at least a, hypotenuse. Like, it's like you gotta like climb and then take a huge step down, and dip and then climb again.
Yeah.
This episode is made possible by Restaurant Systems Pro. And at Restaurant Unstoppable, we are huge fans of Restaurant Systems Pro, so much that we are partnering with Restaurant Systems Pro, and they are going live every other week, twice a month. They are going live in Restaurant Unstoppable Network. Fred Langley, the CEO of Restaurant Systems Pro, we will have access to him, and he will go through your P&L. You do not have to be a Restaurant Systems Pro client to take advantage of this. He will literally tear apart your P&L, and he will help you find the gaps so you can increase your profit by 5% or more. He is literally saving people's restaurants in Restaurant Unstoppable Network. If you want to take advantage of not just Restaurant Systems Pro, their budgeting, their costing, their inventory, their labor management, their training, their general ledger, all tied to your POS, this amount of data is insanely ridiculous. Beyond that, he's making himself available to coach you. This is all happening at restaurantunstoppable.com/live. We'll see you there.
I could tell you a story where we have a GM that, not that money is the only motivator, but after we showed one of our GMs, like, hey, look, like you could make more. You're putting in a lot of hours, but let us teach you how to do it better. And he's like, yeah, like, show me. And like, he took it and ran with it. And last quarter, he made $4,000 extra in bonus alone.
So it being what did he take and run with?
Just seeing the numbers every day. Like, they're on our Excel sheet, and Google Excel sheet, you could see who's coming on.
Yeah, so you see all the stores.
Like, they're like
gamifying it.
That's right. It's a game, and they're having fun with it, and those are small wins for them.
Right.
And they're like, give us more catering, and that allows our catering team to go sell more, because they're like, give us, instead of rejecting it, they're like, give us more.
Right. And that catering drives top line revenue, because now people are like, oh, like I never tried that. That was good. Where is this place?
That's right.
It's like, it's free marketing. It's paid marketing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So all these things, and retention is getting better, because they're like, how do I become a better leader? How do I become a better manager? And we're just, whatever we're feeding them are starting to stick with them a little bit more, because they love the feeling of winning. Instead of saying, I'm stuck here, or I'm stagnant. It's not that anymore. It's more like, if company wins, I win too.
Right.
And my family wins. My kids win. So it's all of those, the fundamentals. We're in the business to make money. And once they see that, they're like, okay, those are met. how can I grow now?
So you said bonus structure. So the game is this. So you teach them the game of business so they understand how the business works. You say, we offer bonuses, but in order to get your bonuses, you have to hit these goals. And then you can hit these goals, and here's how.
Yes.
So it's like having realistic goals.
That's right. Realistic goals is
right?
the key.
Showing people that if you change and commit to growth and progress, that like life is better, cash is better.
That's right.
And then you teach them that it's an infinite game. You
That's
keep
right.
getting better.
And then they start hiring assistant managers and then start being on the business. And for them, being on the business means that building community around them, going to other businesses, going to office buildings, going to neighbors, and just kind of creating this community around them within 3 to 5 miles. And they're happier because now they're on the business.
And they're also like knowing, like there's something about being seen and knowing and seeing other people. We got really far away from that.
Yeah.
Like it's a part of we need to be seen and valued by others. And when we engage in our community sees and values the service that we provide, that makes us feel fantastic.
That's right.
So you said you got to show people where to go. And you by that is you're teaching them the game, you're showing them the numbers, and you're showing that they can have an influence on their future. But do you actually have like a tangible path of growth? Like, hey, like not only can you help this unit grow by paying attention to the numbers, but you have opportunity for yourself, not just in the bonuses, but within this organization, because we want to promote from within.
That's right. From our experience, promoting within is the best way to do it.
You said you had some wins.
Those are small wins, but also leads into big wins.
Right.
So we talked about EOS earlier.
Yeah.
Through our accountability chart.
What's that?
Accountability chart is what they're literally accountable for in doing the job as a GM. And then as a GM too, what are they accountable for? As a district manager, what are they accountable for? So they see a clear accountability chart of every single position that we have in our company.
Are there clear financial increases for you at these different points? Like, you want to raise? Okay, well,
this is how much this person makes.
Yeah, like here it is, and here are the responsibilities, the new skills you have to learn.
That's right.
To get there. Do you have the curriculum built out for people to get to those next steps?
We do. We
now
have like a tree, it's like a chart of a tree. It's like this position is open. We don't have this position yet. So I am responsible for maybe 2 roles today, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, you can take Jay's job if you want. This is how you get there.
Yeah.
So the accountability chart is pretty clear for us, and we share that often because not from a general management perspective, also a team member perspective, right? Like if they are, usually they come in saying, this gets my bills paid. Like I'm here clocking in, clocking out. And somewhere along the line, it clicks with them. Some spark happens and go, I love this company. Like, how do I grow? How do I make more here? How do I contribute more here? Because I love it. I love the people here. I love the culture. Yeah. And that's when we say, here's the
path.
Here's the path.
Yeah. So
that's exciting.
Yeah, people don't only need to know what the job done right looks like in their individual role, the path to success in their role. Yeah. Like here's how you make the bowl right. That's the path. Yeah. Right. Yeah. In this order, and you build it like this, right? Yeah. But they still need that same path for themselves within the organization. Yeah. So what is my job done right when I'm growing?
That's right.
And what paths are my options? Like which paths should I take? Yeah. And it's your job as a restaurateur to help people understand what they're good at and to help them, encourage them for certain paths. Yeah. Go ahead.
For us, making things, building the bowl or prepping, it could be learned. Right. What we love is when someone becomes a leader in our company. So, for example, one of our GMs comes from a pretty rough background, and he just was raised in a way that discipline and tough love was his way of being raised, and that's what he knows.
Right.
So like he's great at executing, being disciplined at a restaurant, and that's how he became a GM. But that's how he leads his team members. And we said, hey, maybe getting what you want, there's not only one way. There's multiple ways of getting what you want. And can we talk about that and discuss how we could change the way that we manage people? And it was like a either break or make it moment for him, and he made it. He's like, yeah, like that's how I was raised, but that doesn't mean that that's how I treat people.
Right.
It works with some people it doesn't work, and I have to be like malleable, moldable, and I have to change the way that I manage people.
Right.
And it was a game changer for him, and I think it's also a game changer for him at home.
Right. I mean, it's really what you just said is exactly why I think this industry has the power to change the world.
Yeah.
If we lift up restaurant owners, your job as a restaurant owner is to lift up everyone around you, not just to give them career opportunity, but to make them better people. Right.
I agree.
If we lift ourselves up and we work on ourselves, the natural evolution of that is it ripples out. Like you can't, if you lift yourself up, you will lift up others. It just happens. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I love what you're giving us, man. We're diving into a lot of this idea of instead of putting the energy out, we put the energy in on organizational structure, communicating opportunities for growth, working on our people, the energy into people, ourselves, our people, our systems. We're getting into all this right now. So in 2022, you went from like maybe short-term goal, not 100, but like maybe 40. And if you get to 40, was the goal would be to exit at that point? Was that the conversations you were having with Chewy, or maybe were they the one that said maybe 40 is a more realistic goal?
No, we weren't talking about that. I think the reason they invested was because of the relationships that we've built over the years.
They were a huge mentor of yours.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah. Do you remember Jason Carrier by any chance?
I do.
So Jason was on the show with Big Mama's or Mama Betty's.
Yes.
I don't know if he's got that project going on. And he was asking me, who am I talking to? And I said, Jae Kim. He's like, Jae Kim used to, like, when he was in college, come to us and just ask if he could, like, volunteer or whatever, because he just wanted to learn, like, the bar industry. Yeah.
Jason, I met him.
That was like 2022.
15 years ago.
2002? Or 15 years ago?
2010.
2010?
11.
Oh, okay.
Dogwood.
That's when he was working in the industry. At this point,
That's right. He was. And he was in the bar business.
Yeah.
And he was such a great guy. And
well, the point is, man, I wanted to say, like, Austin loves you. Everywhere I go, everyone knows Jay, and I've realized it's because you wanted to go work for everybody before getting into, like...
I wanted to learn from everybody, for sure. And even still today, like, I want to learn from people that are just up and coming.
Yeah.
Because they're doing something right.
Right.
And they have line out the door. So I was like, I go to them and it's like, what's working for you?
Right.
Can I learn from you?
Yeah. And that's one of the things that we got into in the first episode, 701. If you guys did not catch that episode, is like, that's one of the things you did really well. You literally just went to everyone.
Yeah.
And you just said, I just want to learn from you. Like, you'd be surprised at what people are willing to share. You went to Mike Ripka. You went to Chewy's. Like, these are big names in Austin. You're just like, tell me everything.
That's right.
Who was it that said that you, was it Chewy's that was doing the food truck with the tacos, or is that Mike?
No, that was Mike with Torchies.
Yeah, and he said, maybe I'll just do tacos too and put one right next to yours. And he's like, I don't know if I'd recommend that.
That was not Mike at that time. There was somebody else. He's one of his partners back in the day. But
it shows
Mike and I became friends since then. Like, he's the most down-to-earth guy, even after that huge sale.
But like, it also just shows your humility, and just not really knowing, and like your naiveness, and like, but people just seeing that you had like the drive, and like, you fake it till you make it, right? Just keep showing up, and like,
that's right.
Yeah, man, you're just constantly growing. So in 2022, you go to Chewy's, this long-term mentor. Are you able to talk about how you guys structured that, or like how, from what your experience?
I said, hey, I want to start raising money to grow, and we need cash.
You're still at 5 locations, you're at 8 locations.
That's right. And they saw how Cilantro reacted during COVID, which was awesome. Like it's a story that I can share, but they just saw that I was curious about learning, and what I did whenever they would share a bunch of ideas, I would take one or two, and I execute, and I say, here's what I did based on our conversation. Here's what I did. Here's an update. This is working. This is not working. Why is this not working?
That was what you're doing
with the mentorship with Chewy's.
From starting at 2022 or all
throughout
okay.
the years. In 2022, I came and say, hey, I think I'm going to raise. And all three said, yeah, of course.
So what they're doing is they're helping you essentially what we learn with EOS, right? Is like you need a goal.
Yeah.
5-year plan. And you need to figure out, okay, what can I do this year to get closer to that 5-year plan? And that's what they're helping you with.
That's
what are
right.
your goals?
That's right.
Okay, well, you need to accomplish these things to get there, and they're helping you see your path for yourself.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're hitting those goals all the time.
They're helping us not to make mistakes. That's essentially what they're doing.
Yeah.
You grow too fast without some of the fundamentals that need to be done, because from 1 to 3, your operations change. From 3 to 5, it changes again. From 5 to 10, it change. It's like, so we went from 8 trying to get to 12, it changes again, or 13. So they said, prepare for that change.
Yeah.
So they're giving us guidance and mentorship as to, hey, it's gonna change, so you got to do this before it changes.
Right. So in 2020, just before the pandemic, you were at 8 locations, and you were in the process of saying, okay, we're about to go through another growth spurt, so we're going to build the house before we move into it. We need to have a COO. We need to have a CMO. We need to have a CFO. So you're building the chiefs, right? But those positions come with big salaries.
That's right.
And you were trying to do it all in-house instead of going out and getting a runway to pay these people.
Yeah.
So when the pandemic hit, you're probably like, well, shoot. Like, I know, I kind of can only assume what happened during the pandemic. Like you were scaling up for growth. The pandemic put a burden on that growth.
Yeah.
Like cash flow dried up, right? Is that kind of what happened?
Well, I think our cash flow.
Or was it good? Because you guys have.
It was good. We were ready to go.
Right.
And first thing we did was to help out our community, because I said, if I'm gonna go down like this with COVID, I'm gonna go out in style, which means like we have food at the restaurant, let's just give it out.
Yeah.
So who wants to come to work with the masks on because essential workers were able to work? Let's just go, let's feed the hospital, feed the people who are in need. And that kind of started this momentum of people or brands or companies coming to us and say, how can we support you?
Yeah.
How can we help you? And that was the start of the momentum that carried us all through COVID, which was great for us.
So were you operating the black the entire time?
Yeah, but it was hard because we didn't have enough staff. It was hard moments, but I think it was one of the most memorable moments that I had looking back, because it just showed us how resilient we were as a brand, as a team.
So by 2022, when Chewy's comes on, is part of their advice that you need to outsource some of the things that you brought in-house full time, or was it had happened up to like already going into this point?
No, I think the key thing that they wanted me to focus on was 4-wall growth.
Okay.
Calm traffic.
So you're still at 8 locations, 2 food trucks and 2 trailers in 2022, and they're saying before
and I had
go forward, you got to slow down.
Yeah, before we get to 40 or 20, double in size, let's like focus better, because they're like, we don't have a problem with growth. We don't have problem opening stores. We're gonna run into problems with operating them, managing, and say, if we wanted to grow 10 next year, we can, but can we support that 10 with the operations that we currently have? The answer is not.
Yeah.
So let's focus on that first, because
you gotta build the bench.
and make things better.
Right.
And that's what we started working on as we were growing, because I had leases to sign. We were, I was actively looking to grow into Houston. So those are some of the things that.
So you went to them and said, I need to raise money. You came to terms that I can't take this any further on my own. I need help, right? So you need money, but like, where do you think you need, like, what was like the pain, the emotion you were feeling at that point?
I had a private equity deal prior to COVID, and I turned it down, and then COVID hit. Yeah. So imagine the confusion that I had.
Right. Well, I mean, do you think it would have been?
Well, I would have had cash.
Yeah.
Because it was a private equity deal
Right.
that allowed me to sell big portions of my company.
What was it about the deal that you turned down?
I loved the guys that I was going to make a deal with. I wasn't ready.
Yeah. Why weren't you ready? What made you feel that way?
Just, it was a gut feeling of I'm not ready.
Ready for what?
Ready to take on. First was I'm not ready to cash somehow.
So
take some off the table.
Yeah. So basically, if you take on that private equity, you're giving up equity in the business.
That's
you're
right.
You're liquidating
That's right.
Percentage of your business.
Yeah.
What percentage would you have had to liquidate?
Oh, over 50%.
Over 50%.
Yeah.
And how much would you have been able to get from that deal?
Would
more than 10 million?
Not quite there, but
Okay.
we would have been fine.
Okay.
My family would have been just fine.
Got it.
It would have been life-changing money for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Do you think hindsight being 2020 you made the right decision?
Oh, yes.
Why?
Because going through COVID gave me so much confidence in our brand that we can withhold anything. Even if we were to run into challenges, like we will be able to overcome it.
Got it. So in 2022, Chewy, your investors helped you realize that you need to slow down and focus on what you're already doing better.
Which was great.
How much? Can you talk more about that?
Yeah. So I didn't sell majority. I sold about like 15%.
Okay.
And
what was the process of knowing what to charge and like the evaluate? Did you have somebody come in and do an evaluation of Cilantro, like an EBITDA, to know exactly the?
I set my own valuation. I set my own terms, and I said, "Here are the terms. Could you take it?"
Where did you go to know what those terms look like? How did you know how to set that up? Like, where was your inspiration? Who'd you go to?
I went to. Basically, I knew what I wanted, and then I went to an attorney and restructured the business. And I said, "Here are the deal terms for a minority investment."
What did you want?
I wanted control.
Okay. And what did your attorney tell you in order to, like, what elements of the agreement did need to exist in order for you to have what you wanted?
This is like 80 pages long, so I don't know quite the detail. But
the
details were that I had the final say in how we moved the company, how we grew the company.
Creative freedom, visionary freedom.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so you get the money.
Mm-hmm.
How much money did you think you needed? How did you even come to that number?
Yeah. Initially, what I wanted to do was have the experience of raising money and bring on some key, those are key guys that continue to help me, right? And they continue to help me today.
Right.
So I wanted to get them on board. That was a strategic decision to bring on investors.
You want people you know, like, trust, have the same values.
And they would help me.
They helped you get this far.
Yeah, they would help me to go into uncharted territory that I don't have an experience in.
Yeah.
Right. I knew how to get to 1 from 8. I had a good feeling that I can go from 8.
How many Chewy's are there?
Over 100.
Okay. You said you have a good feeling.
Well, they sold to Darden, right, for $600 million bucks or something.
Yeah, they have some money that they can lend your way to help you out. So you said you knew you could get to 1 to 8, but they know how to they could help you get from 8 to what? What was 8 to 40?
They could probably help me to get to 8 to 100 if they wanted to.
Right. Yeah. So they said first things first. You gotta work on the business. From 2022, you you help your people grow. You put in tangible passive growth. You build out the hierarchy. People, you're building out the training. You're empowering people. You're promoting from within. What's the bonus structure look like? That's another. You said that happened.
Yeah.
2020?
Well, it's comp sales. So
Sales.
What's like comparable sales from the year before. So they get bonused out on a quarterly basis based on the growth of this year's sales compared to last year.
So is it a percentage growth that you hit? So what's a good target? What's a reasonable target?
Yeah. So I would say over 5% is great.
Okay. So you have your income, all the money we make. You're taking money, you're putting it aside for taxes, operational expenses, owner's pay. Like basically, you're covering all of your operational costs, and whatever's left over for profit is what percentage of that gets chopped up into, I guess, the bonus structure.
Yeah. So they get bonus off of things that are only controllable for them.
Labor, cost of goods.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So EBITDA.
Got it.
So everything else that are uncontrollable, which is rent, those don't count against them.
Got it.
Right. So if I signed a 10% like a lease, like that's on me, not on them.
Right.
So like some of the fixed costs, not on them. So they get bonused off of things that they can control.
So if you're at a 60% prime cost and they help you get to a 55% prime cost, then they could get bonused on the 5% of total.
They could. Yes.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
So so what percentage of that 5 points would?
Yeah.
How does that
they
work?
get metrics. So every let's say a percent they hit, they get a bonus off of that.
Okay. So it's a percent of the percentage.
Percent of EBITDA increase.
Got it.
Yes, from the year before.
Right.
So they get bonus off of sales, and then they get bonus off of EBITDA after their controllable expenses are taken out. So if the EBITDA went from 25% to 28%, yeah, they would get a bonus off of that 3%. That's right.
And then you said also on sales. And how do you look at the sales? How do you know?
Comp sales from the year before to this year.
And what's the percentage? That's a good target in terms of chopping that up.
I would say overall like 5%.
5. So
yeah,
the percentage on the 3% that they earned, that you're getting.
Yeah, our goal is like 7% this year to grow. So if they hit that 7% growth at the store level, then they would get a
And if
bonus.
you're doing 1.5 million per location, what does that bonus look like?
That's a good question. I would say the maximum they can earn is probably $16,000 to $20,000.
Wow.
On top of their salary.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's incentive. That's a new car. At least the payments.
Yeah, I think that helps a lot.
Or comfortable, like, being able to pay your rent.
I think that's... I agree. I think it's a great bonus when they each quarter, like they hit the metrics. It's a win for them. We're celebrating, and then there's a check ready for them.
Yeah. Where'd you go to learn more about how to structure this? Who was your guiding principal on this?
Again, I went to John Howie, who's
Howie?
used to be CFO of Chewy's, who's also our investor. I said, hey, we're just trying to come up with this bonus structure, and he said, don't complicate things. Simpler the better.
Yeah.
And we made it simple. And my business partner, Ryan, put it together, and he presented to our team.
Got it. Thank you for getting. These are the details I love. Do you think I'm pushing too much?
It's fine.
These are good. These are like, this is my.
I hope that it helps.
I think you're helping tons of people, man. Honestly,
That's great.
I love what you're giving us. So, okay. At what point did you say, I'm going to backpedal off the franchise train?
Yeah, so I went through FDD process. Maybe that's when we were talking. That's FDD's franchise disclosure.
Who were you talking to?
Who was I talking to?
You said you were getting help. You
I
outsourced.
was talking to an attorney
Okay.
that specializes in franchising.
It's not Charles Intercanola, is it by any chance?
No.
Okay.
And what I've learned was, okay, there's a legal side of things that really protects the brand from a franchisor perspective.
Yeah.
And then there's a control aspects of the franchisor. So a lot of times franchised companies fail because they don't have a good system in place, and they're eager to go out and franchise the concept, bring on franchisees, and then they struggle.
Right.
A lot of franchisees' complaints are that they don't get enough support from the franchisors.
Right.
So I knew that I wasn't ready for that. So I gave myself time, like about 1 year, to learn about this. And I realized, like, I think we're just better off as a company owned.
What were the biggest reasons that steered you in this direction?
So
being better off company owned?
Like in terms of like multiples, franchise companies have better multiples when you go into a market to sell the brands, if you're successful.
Right.
I just like that our brand should be company grown, which is a better balance with operations, people, and profitability.
Yeah. Better multiples being the royalties you get from all the locations that open, the selling of the franchise, all that stuff. There's more potential earning, but sometimes it's at a cost of controlling culture.
I believe so. When I say multiples, is meant by multiples in the private equity market. So going to market as a franchise company might have a better you might get a better multiples than a company owned company, because it's a less money that private equity will have to spend in growth,
because you're getting the money from
the franchisees.
Investing.
That's right.
You're spreading out. Yeah. Got it. So you back out of that, you feel like that might not be the right model for you. It doesn't feel right after doing more research. You get the money from Chewy's. They say, okay, let's focus on doing what we're already doing better. We talked about the putting in a bonus payment, giving paths for growth for your employees, working on your people. What else did you do over the past 3 years that has really moved the needle? Like, how else are you better today than you were 3 years ago?
I think it's the core focus that we have. Great customer service, great food in a clean environment. Like, those are fundamentals of a successful restaurant.
How are you doing that better?
Instead of our staff members focusing on opening new restaurants, we're just reallocating our focus into our current restaurants, which means our productivity level when it comes to focusing on current restaurants increases.
So that's good food, good service. What was the other one?
Clean environment.
Clean environment. So you're doing those three things better. Are there specific things you've done to increase your service that you weren't doing before? How are you better at that now than you were before?
Yeah, we started focusing on our loyal customers.
You were looking at 3 companies last time I was here. It was between Thanks. What was the other? I think I wrote these down.
Patronics.
I
don't remember the other one.
I wrote it down. I'm determined to find the answer.
Okay.
Patronics, Thanks, and Cube were the 3.
Okay.
Where'd you settle?
Patronics.
Patronics? What was it about Patronics?
I don't remember. I don't remember why. I think they had... I remember having some similar features. It probably came down to cost.
Yeah.
We were getting a good deal from Patronics. That's probably why I moved it in with Patronics.
So the reason why I asked this question, because you said you were going to focus on customer service, loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
And has that loyalty program, has that served your customers well? Do you think it was is it a good investment?
Huge.
Yeah. Why is it huge?
We have a customer named Caleb at the domain. He comes in like 3 times a week. And letting him know that we appreciate him is huge.
So how does the app let him know that you appreciate him?
Well, because we know how much he spends with us.
Okay.
So he's spending like thousands of dollars with us. We're fast casual. So the average cost is $15, $20. And he's spending a lot of money with us. So just letting him know, hey, just thank you so much for your business and support. Here's like $10 for your next meal.
So you're incentivizing
Yeah,
rewarding
like
people. Yeah.
Yeah, like he knows that, oh, like we know you're our top customer.
Yeah.
And he joked back, he's like, haha, like, yeah, I spent too much money with you guys.
Do you have a list? Like, can you export like your top, like, you know, like who your most like loyal customers?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever do anything with that list beyond just give them incentives, like the money, or is the communication different with those people?
Yeah, it's just letting them know that we're thankful.
Yeah. And now
It's simple as that.
do you ever like craft your own emails letting them know?
Yeah.
Or, okay.
I recently sent Caleb like a gift box.
Okay.
Send it to Domain.
That's so
it's
cool.
like a Yeti cup, some stickers, and just say, "Hey, Caleb, like thank you."
Yeah, you know, I'm wanting to get the boys from Real Tacos to deliver a workshop on this, but they're doing something similar with their influencer approach. Instead of going to these giant influencers, they're going to their most loyal customers and saying, "We're not going to pay, you know, this influencer who has 1 million+ followers to shake their butt on camera in front of our taco. We'd rather have you, our most loyal customer, give a true, authentic testimonial.
Yeah.
And pay you $50.
Yeah.
You know, come in, spend it here if you want, or just take it and do whatever you want with it.
That's right.
Like that testimonial in your market from your target market will hit so much harder.
Yeah, that's what we're doing too.
Yeah, I love that.
Sure.
I love that. And that makes me happy. That's like, you know, I kind of hate the direction things are going with like influencers and that world of influencers.
You know, for me, they're extremely helpful.
Yeah.
Right. It's
Maybe I
like
have the wrong
a lot of them, it's a full-time job, so they have to make money, right? And they are making money.
But are
which
the
is great.
consumers more loyal to the influencers or to the restaurants?
I think both. Like our strategy recently, it's been working with micro influencers. How we define micro influencers are we look at their content and we think that they're doing a great job, like showcasing whatever they're passionate about, whether it's food or bars, whatever it is, their lifestyle. And we can tell that they think about it.
Yeah.
And they only may have 1,000 to, 3,000 followers.
Right.
But like they're putting in the work.
Right.
So we work with them and we call them a micro influencers in our eyes.
They'll hit better, I think, you know, because there's usually not as much influence, but the influence they do have, people, to your point, that you can tell they're doing the work.
That's
Yeah.
They're like they think about the content they're making. You can tell that they're taking the time to create it.
Right.
And they have a certain an angle that they use. And we love seeing that.
I love that.
Yeah.
So good customer service, beyond loyalty programs and taking the time to see and recognize and thank your most loyal guests. What else are you doing to increase or improve service?
Invest back into our products. We brought everything in house. So we were at one point before COVID and during COVID, we were using co-packers for the sauces.
Okay.
And we did that because we thought we were going to really scale up, and we wanted to try some of the sauces that we had. It was easy for us to outsource
Yep.
and co-pack locally in Austin. And coming out of COVID, we just realized, let's do everything in-house. I think we can do it better, and we can control better, and we can get better ingredients because we're saving costs on these raw ingredients. Instead of co-packing and paying for somebody else's labor, we can do it with our
So at
team.
what point, so there's a balance there, right? So
I think there is.
how do you find that balance? It's like, okay, do we outsource?
Yeah.
So I just had Dean and Peeler. Have you heard Dean and Peeler?
Great. Yeah, we get our beef from them.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they also do production, right?
Yeah,
So
they
you
do.
do a lot of stir fries.
We do a lot of, we serve a lot of beef.
Yeah,
and
but
they're our source.
So when you purchase the beef from them, what are you purchasing?
What up, Unstoppables? This episode is made possible by Restaurant Systems Pro. If you are a listener of Restaurant Unstoppable, I know you've heard me mention Restaurant Systems Pro, but just in case you haven't heard of it yet, it is a all-in-one enterprise solution. All the most critical systems that will help you become profitable. I'm talking about costing. I'm talking about inventory management. I'm talking about budgeting. I'm talking about labor management. I'm talking about training. The list goes on, all under one roof, tied to your general ledger, and they have their own POS, and they integrate with nearly every major POS out there. Restaurant Systems Pro is an amazing tool, and this is the thing that gets me really excited. When you join Restaurant Unstoppable Network, you get access to the CEO of Restaurant Systems Pro, Fred Langley, twice a week for a P&L Power Hour. He literally will let you open up your P&L, share it on the screen, and he will help you close the gaps and increase your profitability. You do not have to be a Restaurant Systems Pro user to benefit from these live events. He doesn't care. We're just here to help you. Head over to restaurantunstoppable.com/RSP to get the full playlist of every Restaurant Systems Pro episode, a link to all the testimonials. And if we haven't sold you on Restaurant Systems Pro by then, I don't know what else to do. But if you really want to up your Restaurant Systems Pro experience, be sure to join Restaurant Unstoppable Network too. All right, guys, one more time, head over to restaurantunstoppable.com/RSP.
We're purchasing a lower grade of ribeye.
Okay.
And
so ribeye, does it come whole or do you process that?
They cut it, they slice it, and they marinate it, and then they pack it for us.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So what were you doing
So that's what they're continuing to do, because they can provide consistency for us in terms of like beef. But we're talking about like sauce for the chicken, sauce for our magic sauce, for example. We were kind of outsourcing that.
Just the marinades.
Marinades, the sauces, which makes a bulk of, our
dressings and
and sauces, and we
did all that. You were outsourcing,
not all of it, but we were outsourcing some of it to scale.
Okay.
And we realized that it would be just better if we just have everything in-house, like prepare as much as possible, becoming more of a scratch kitchen concept, back to where like our roots of doing everything in our kitchen.
Okay.
Two things that changed for us when we did that. Just pride of our staff members. They were like, oh, like I am making this
the food again.
Yeah, they're touching and I'm tasting it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of, oh, like this is a sauce that's
out of this
produced for us. It must be consistent instead of saying, oh, like I am making it. So I take pride in.
Check your work.
And taking ownership.
Was it not consistent when you were outsourcing it?
They were consistent. They're just, the price is high.
They were consistent, but the price was high.
Yeah.
Got it. How much more were you spending to outsource than you would have had that? What's the difference between outsourcing and what you're saving?
We saved probably a couple basis points. So,
okay, on labor. Or you were bringing your cost of goods down, your labor is going up, but the difference was a couple points.
Yeah, a couple basis points in food costs, right? So when we stopped outsourcing and then we said, oh, we're saving money on food costs, what can we bring back that's better products? And that's when we found Dean and Peeler.
Okay.
Because we said, oh, we could make our beef better by going to a Texas rancher.
Right.
Instead of, like what we're used to. So we made that better.
So that's an example of where you chose to continue to outsource. So the major difference there, why was it, what's going on that's different here versus everything else taking it in-house? What was the rationale in your head? So you're not completely closed off to outsourcing, because in this circumstance you're doing it. So what's the primary difference?
It comes down to controlling the quality and the cost.
Okay.
And then when we save cost by bringing back in, we can allocate that budget now back into our customers.
Got it.
So we can source better ingredients. Like for example, rice is a good example. Our white rice. There's all different kinds of grades. We can like up the grades of rice. Like those things like people like rarely notice.
Yeah.
But we notice.
Yeah.
And if we're proud of serving better like grain of rice, like people are going to be like, oh, like something's changed. I don't know what it is, but something's changed and I like it.
Yeah.
So those are the small
pride is
things.
tangible, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least you can feel it, right? It
That's
radiates.
right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't tell you. I mean, I mentioned Dean and Peeler. I didn't
Yeah.
know that you were working with Dean and Peeler. I had them on the show. Was it my last? No, 2 episodes ago.
Okay.
And I'm really interested in their business model because it's getting harder and harder for independents to do the right thing. By the right thing, source locally, sustainably raised products.
Did you go to their farm?
I did. I interviewed Dustin.
That's so interesting.
So cool, man. I got
all
the tour.
like how
I got
they
the baby
raise their
ones. Like, and it's amazing. You talk about consistency, what they do. So they're the answer is they're vertically integrating the whole process. That's what I was curious about. Is this a part of the solution to fix the broken food system and make it possible for independent restaurants to support independent farms? How do we do that?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah.
I think vertical integration is a big part of it.
Yeah.
Part of the issues with sourcing beef is consistency in the product. You get 1 8-ounce cut and a 6-ounce cut in the same box.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to do that consistently?
Yeah.
So they down to the selection of the semen they use.
That's right.
To be able to have consistency in the
That was
cuts
so
of
interesting
meat.
to me.
Like you look at these cows and there'll be B-roll if you watch that episode.
Yeah.
They look like they're all identical twins.
The sizes
they all
are
have
the
the same dad.
That's right.
Yeah, it's crazy. So consistency in the product, and then so from birthing,
And then the feeds, okay, what they eat.
Yeah, they source from all local farms. So it's farms helping farms.
Right.
All ships rise with the tide.
Yeah.
So not only is it good for the economy, it's good for the economic economy.
That's right.
And you're saving on your labor costs. It's like a ripple out effect in all ways.
Right.
And it's like quality product. Like it's checking all the boxes
for sure.
So I don't know. Sorry, I got really excited there, man.
No, that was exciting. When I visited their farm, I was like, wow, this is really cool.
When we started today's podcast, just before we sat down, you asked me a question. I said, I'm going to think about that when I'm in the bathroom. I'll be right back. I got back. What was the question?
I said, what's the best show that you've done recently?
My answer. Do you remember the answer?
You said everyone's like, it's got some special moments that every show.
It's how everything's connected.
That's right.
There isn't one episode right now that I'm excited. It's about, I feel better about the work I'm doing today than ever before because I'm following the clues and there's patterns. You know, they're like success recognizes success, and I'm getting these testimonials from people. I had no idea they're working with the people other people I'm getting on the show.
Yeah.
And it's just when you do good work, man, it shows, man.
That's pretty cool.
To your point, like you focus on the quality of the product. And when you take the energy and you try to do good work, if you just focus on the quality of the product, it shows.
Yeah.
And I think using word of mouth to chase the truth.
Yeah.
There's you see these patterns and that manifests a quality of the product. I think the show is better than it's ever been right now. I'm bragging.
I love that.
But you just reinforced that what I was sharing earlier.
Yeah.
It's just, wow. It's exciting. Sorry.
I love it.
We'll bring it back to you.
Why do you do that? I know you've kind of mentioned that before, but let me ask you, why do you continue to have that kind of integrity? Sellout is probably a bad word for this. You like that the connections it's interconnected.
Right.
And that's your a pride. You're proud of that.
Thank you. Yeah, I try to be. It's like anything, you got to protect the brand, right? When you franchise, when you bring people on, it can be harder to do that. When you scale, it can be. Sometimes when you scale, you have to sacrifice something that you value in exchange for money, right?
Yeah.
And for me, it's just it's just the curiosity, man. I'm more interested in the why, the mission, to learn and to be transparent, to be honest. From day one, I've always been saying my unique selling proposition is trust.
Yeah.
And I think in order to say things like that, you have to walk the walk.
Right.
And I think, and honestly speaking, when I start sacrificing the quality of the show, my curiosity.
Yeah.
Really, I'm just selfishly serving my curiosity.
Yeah.
When I have to prioritize other things like fulfilling sponsorship agreements, that just sucks the why out of it for me.
Yeah.
It pulls the curiosity out of it for me.
Right.
And I don't enjoy it. So like selfish. I want to be transparent. Selfish.
Yeah.
Like, but also,
But you produce great products.
thank you, thank you very much. But also on the back end of this, my target audience is my parents. When I, like I always have them in the back of my mind. Like, I'm creating this for who they were 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to screw over my parents. Like, I want it to be honest. Like I love restaurant people.
Why restaurant?
I grew up in the industry.
Yeah.
Like it's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
I
think that's what, we talked about that last time.
Yeah. And I love restaurant people. That's the thing.
Yeah.
They're the hardest working, most generous, most caring, most like they sacrifice everything for everyone else, but who's going to work for them?
Yeah.
Like I love the restaurant industry because of restaurant people, man.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever known.
Yeah.
Restaurant people.
I hope that like customers know that, like sometimes I wonder, man, like customers know that there's tariffs going on, which means that we're all gonna we're trying our best to not increase price on them.
Yeah.
Right. Because they're the end user for us. And that, and for example, during COVID, we increased our minimum wage for our guys. We felt like that's the right thing to do, and we'll figure it out the rest. And so we raised price on customers, and some customers said it's too expensive now. And we're just we got certain margins, and we're just trying to make that margin. Everything else, it's like we're trying to increase our labor costs and all that. And, my only wish is that, can customers know? Like, I wish customers know that.
Well, our whole job, I think, is to kind of transport the guest, right? Like, they're not supposed to know the reality. Like, we're supposed to, we're in the experience economy. They're supposed to just, be happy. And when you, shake things up with increased prices, and like we mess up their world of happiness,
Right.
like they're like, wait, what's going on? This is what it costs, it's the cost of goods going up, labor is going up, the world's changing, and food is the most important thing. I think there's an issue with the values in society. Like, we could value food a little bit more, but that's a whole nother conversation, man. I don't know if you want me to open that can.
Yeah.
Because I would go down it, and I feel like my poor listeners are like, no, Jay, don't make them go down there. Yeah. It's a dark hole. Okay. I'm loving the conversation, though. So good food. We're talking about service, good food, increasing the quality of the food.
Yeah.
So what haven't we discussed? What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about? It's been 3 years since Chewy came on. Like, what else has changed? 13 locations now.
Yeah, I could talk about if I want to talk about
Let me ask this.
Sure.
Where are you going to be in 5 years?
Good question. I have 2 kids now.
How old?
They're one's 3. My daughter's 3. My youngest one is 8 months.
So they weren't around when we first. We've been busy, my friend. Congratulations.
I would love to spend more time with them and be present in their lives, and continue to build relationship with them, and also with my wife, on the family front. On the work front, I want to continue to have fun and bring value to the company. That's where I want to be, and also financially get rewarded for what I do.
Yeah. So it's balance of purpose, balance of family, balance of fiscal sustainability.
Yes, that's right.
It's well balanced.
Yeah.
Is the goal to build this and then to sell it?
It's the goal is to build.
Yeah.
The goal is to see where Cilantro is capable of going.
Okay.
Wherever it can go.
Okay.
The goal is that as a business guy, as an entrepreneur, for the past 15 years, I've put everything back into the company, right? It's not like it's not like I'm like multi-millionaire, right? So financially getting rewarded for what I did by bringing on partner is definitely on the table.
Yeah. How are you gonna know who the right partner is? I mean, you have partners now, right?
I do have partners. I think once we get to the point of having a private equity partner, the relationship will be a little bit different.
So how would you identify the current partnership you have now? It's not private equity.
Yeah, they're probably more like friends and family.
Got it.
Well, I dictated the terms. It was a minority investment.
Got it.
So, and their interest, I think, all our investors told us, Jay, for whatever the reason, if you lost our money, we would still love you.
That's important.
We didn't invest because we think that Cilantro is going to go 100 location and we're going to 100x our investment. We want you to be successful. We like you and we're investing in you and your ability to get Cilantro to be where it can go.
Got it.
So if it's their intent, private equity's intent is different.
Yeah.
Their intent is to put in the money and get multiply.
Yeah.
So I think that relationship will change.
Right. For sure. So you said that you kind of scaled down and that instead of having things in-house, you went and you outsourced some things like financial specifically and social media. So what does that look like? Do you have a fractional CPA?
Yeah. I mean, we do have a full-time accounting team that's hired on by our fractional controller.
Okay.
Our size, we don't need a CFO. We need more of a controller that...
What's the difference between a controller and a CFO and an accountant?
The biggest differences are, I think, CFO has a big picture in mind and they are able to make decisions that aligns with the CEO's vision.
In terms of budgeting?
I think not in terms of budgeting, in terms of investing, also including budgeting.
Pro formas, projections, things like that.
Projections, also improvements.
Got it.
I think that's the biggest difference between controller and a CFO is that controller, on the other hand, is able to control the financial side of the business on a day in, day out.
The reality of they're looking at the picture and what the numbers are telling you.
Yeah, and if there are some discrepancies, controller's one that says, here's a problem, I will fix this, and we will improve it.
So you have on your team, you have an accountant, you have a controller, and the controller is a fractional. What's their title? Fractional CFO or
fractional controller?
Fractional controller.
Yeah.
And are they what's that relationship? How do they market themselves? In terms of what's their name? Is their name of their company?
Yeah. Well, the company that we work with is Fraction AO.
Fraction AO.
And there are accounting firms out there that specializes in restaurants and hospitality. And they know restaurants. Usually, what I hear from the growth of these firms they are with one or two restaurants, and then these one or two restaurant becomes 30 restaurants, and then they just naturally get better at doing finances for this brand that have grown to 40 or 50.
Right.
And then they're like, this is what we specialize.
Right. Yeah. I'm seeing more and more of these. Are they using Restaurant 365? Because I know that you were on Restaurant 365.
Yeah, we're using Restaurant 365.
Yeah. So basically, it's I think that this is a big part of what the future looks like. I like to throw in, whenever I can, Restaurant Systems Pro in the mix with Restaurant 365. I think they're a great solution that doesn't have nearly the same amount of marketing budget as Restaurant 365 does.
Yeah.
But
what is it called again?
Restaurant Systems Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, you need an enterprise solution, a fully integrated stack where information is flowing.
Yeah, that's right. It's
connected to your POS and to your general ledger. Like, you need to have your accounting software be its own thing for the restaurant industry. If you want to scale, QuickBooks will not be what you want to use.
Probably not.
Right.
Yeah.
You need connection to your inventory. You need, actual versus theoretical, and you need to be doing inventory weekly and having everything line itemed built for the restaurant industry.
That's right.
And then if you can have somebody, so it was a challenge there for a while over the past 5 years, because you needed, like, the options were like Restaurant Systems Pro, Restaurant 365, or Compete, which is now Restaurant 365.
That's right.
And there was a period, like a learning curve, where like there's all this technology, only a handful of people know how to use it.
Yeah.
And the process of actually, it's a skill to know how to use a Restaurant 365 or a Restaurant Systems Pro. There's a learning curve.
I
there.
agree.
So now there's been years of people, accountants, who've gotten familiar with these platforms, and they're saying, I could just use this tool to manage these restaurants and do it for a bunch of people.
That's right.
And there's an opportunity there.
I think there's a huge opportunity there for sure.
Yeah. I think Restaurant Systems Pro needs to get some of these people doing what Restaurant 365 is doing with the accountants. I think that's where the opportunity is.
You know what's interesting? I'm just curious, right? So like QuickBooks, for example, they incentivize these firms financially for bringing on clients.
Right.
So I'm just curious if Restaurant 365 is doing that.
Maybe.
Possibly.
But I think it's important that we diversify the technology systems.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not good for the restaurant industry if we all go in on two companies. If all restaurants in America are run on Toast and Restaurant 365, that's not good for anybody but Toast or Restaurant 365.
I agree.
I'm not saying they're bad.
I'm
companies.
using both of them, and that's what I'm saying.
They're the most number one recommended, and they're terrific solutions. And I try not to talk shit. I'm not trying to talk shit, but historically, absolute power corrupts absolutely. And I think humans are in nature, they default to the path of least resistance, which is what are most people saying.
Yeah. Here's an interesting thing that we're getting proposed to from Toast. So, they are trying to vertically integrate, all the systems that we have been using
outsourcing.
So, it starts from website. And they're saying, well, build your website, which means it's seamlessly being integrated with our POS system.
Right. Online ordering.
That's right. Which makes it easy.
Right.
And then we will help you target your top loyalty members. So we now have loyalty. So everything, they're trying to make it, you're right, monopolize the whole system and compete with companies that specialize in maybe loyalty alone.
Right.
Here's why, we're considering. The reason is, they're able to drastically bring down the cost of everything. We're using Olo currently. Toast comes back, looks at our number, and goes, we'll save you costs. Essentially, we're doing the same thing, but we'll save you costs, right? But Olo doesn't have other capacity, right? They're integrated with other POS systems. So it's interesting. And at the end of the day, if I can save a lot of money, I'm why not? But you're right. Is that am I helping them monopolize the whole market?
Well, I mean,
sure.
I think with competition becomes, I think long term, if we choose to, fraction the technology companies, we'll force them to bring their rates down because there'll be more competition, and when there's more competition, the technology gets better. You know?
Yeah.
So I think that short term, I can save $100 a month, or maybe that's extreme or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. we nickel and dime this industry for the short term, and I think we need to think long term what's best for the industry, like so we can have a healthier industry going forward, and we can innovate and get better.
Yeah,
I tend to be big picture thinker though. Like I don't, because I'm not in it like restaurant owners are.
Yeah.
So and I get that. Like they're like, what about today?
Yeah.
Because it's fucking hard right now.
That's right.
I get that too.
That's right.
But I don't know, man. I don't have the answers.
I don't have the answer.
I'm in search of.
Yeah.
So Toast Restaurant 365, Olo in terms of tech stack. The name of that fractional controller you're working with is Fractional AO.
AO. Yeah, Fraction AO. I work with Pia directly. Pia and Jason. They're the owners.
And they just basically manage your Restaurant 365, and they have weekly calls where they're giving you like your reports.
Yeah.
How do you like using Restaurant 365?
That's just like I'm not an expert at it. What I'm good at is opening up the software and clicking my favorites.
The KPIs.
That's as far as.
Well, that's what you need. Like you're delegating the operation, the use of the tool. And I think that's the way to do. If I'm opening a restaurant tomorrow and I have to raise money, I'm raising an extra whatever I need to have a controller and 2 years of operational expense to pay for the software. So like what is that? How much would you have to budget for 2 years of subscription and 2 years of a controller?
I don't know if you need a 2-year subscription. If you were to start a restaurant today, I don't know. I'm not sure if a Restaurant 365 is the right option because they are not cheap.
Well, the reason why I like Restaurant Assistant Pro.
Because they're affordable. Yeah. Maybe
$300 a month.
Yeah, I think that's a great price.
And then I think if you want to add like certain features like scannable like accounts entry or accounts receivable, like if you want to scan and have somebody, if you want to outsource that part of entering the data, then I think there's additional fees associated with it. But it's still less than Restaurant.
I think if you're starting out, like you want to, with all the AI coming in, like we even like outsource, not outsource, but AI assistant, like it's like I started dabbling on it and it's extremely helpful. Where like I book specifically? Just like booking trips.
Okay.
Like that's like.
What's the name of the AI you're using?
No, just like ChatGPT, asking ChatGPT, hey, can you find me a place to stay around this area?
I should start using it more.
I mean, it's extremely helpful.
I use certain apps that I'm just kind of have habits around.
Yeah, like Google.
Hotel Tonight is nice.
Is it Gemini? Like I use like the email component. Searching email component of that just to make sure that
again, why I'm really excited about one thing I'm excited about with AI is I think that it's going to help these tech companies. It's going to help level the playing field.
I hope so.
Catching Toast right now as a POS company, they're a moving target. As you're building your platform, they're moving forward.
They are.
So with AI, I think that AI is hopefully going to level the playing field in terms of using AI to develop the software.
Yeah, I agree. The biggest, I think, the benefit that I get from the Gemini Gmail component is that I would like write something. It could sound like mean or whatever, because I'm probably
direct. We have so much to write. Like we just get to the point.
Right.
Yeah.
And I like it's like a sounding board for me. It's like I just have them like just double check to see like can you write it nicer?
Yeah. Sounds a little off.
So I think for me that's the biggest help for me right now.
So using technology like that, AI, I have something to say with the AI. I mean, how else are you using AI? I'm curious.
I think we could. That's as far as like like how I encourage our staff members when they're writing a report or writing a recommendation letter or writing a resume. I said, use ChatGPT and send it to me. Like I know it's a ChatGPT. I know that's not how you write, but I want you to see like how it would write it better for you. And I would do the same thing.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna lose a level of our like authenticity or like human like touch, like when everything's just like gonna be filtered through AI? Individuality, I guess.
I don't know. What do you think?
I know. I'll tell you right now with social media, I'm very turned off by AI content.
Can you tell if it's like which is AI versus not?
Oh, sometimes for sure. Like you know, like just or if it's just like filtered or like
yeah.
It just feels like I just want to I just want to be able to see somebody like that's actually talented. You know, like creating good content.
Yeah.
You know, a good creator versus now anybody can create anything. Plus, it's just I don't trust. It's hard for me to trust what I'm seeing. Is that real? Like I don't want to say conspiracy, but I like the unknown.
Yeah.
You know, it's always been fascinating to like watch like interesting like a ghost video or like a UFO video. Like, oh, that's fascinating. Like, is this stuff real or not? But now it's like
they could create
anything could be real. You're like
anything could be fake. Yeah.
You're like it's like now you're just like you're hopeful that like maybe we're figuring something out, but now that you can deep fake almost anything. Like
that's true.
It's like we can't trust what you see on the internet anymore. And like it's like this internet was this thing that was going to be like, the one thing that like leveled the playing field and to like expose like the frauds of the world. And now it's just like even more like fraudulent than ever before. It's going to be easier to persuade and manipulate.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, for me and from our team, it cuts a lot of time for us. I can command ChatGPT to, hey, can you analyze this pricing for me or analyze this data, and it will do it for me.
That's cool. I mean, there's some good use cases out there.
Yeah.
I need to be more open to it for sure. What I was going to say with AI, you know, I think, I lost it again.
Yeah. Well, while you're thinking, let me just also add that I do think that like our staff, like recently I taught one of our managers like, hey, like just it's free, like do this, and she said, oh, like can I do this and send it to you? I was like, yes, absolutely.
I remember my thought. So like it's like as we scale, as these tools, we have to learn how to do more with less, right? And you're using examples of how you're using AI to do more with less, leaning more on technology and systems instead of people where you can to lower your costs. And I think to the point we were talking about these enterprise solutions, you said that with one location, you wouldn't go with an enterprise solution, or you would?
I wouldn't. I think it's just too expensive.
Okay.
Like,
what about when is a good time? How many units? Beyond 3?
I think 3 is a great number.
Okay.
Maybe 2 if you're doing like 5-10 million per unit.
Yeah.
Like get on it fast as you can.
I don't disagree with you. I think it's one of those things like you could do it at 1, right? I think budget is a big part of it. It's expensive.
I agree.
So if you're privileged, right, and you're able to open a restaurant and you're able to raise, say, $2 million, but I guess what I'm trying to figure out is what would 2 years of operational like cost be for a controller? That was how we got here. If you wanted to have a fractional controller and you wanted to have 1 year or 2 years of subscription to an enterprise solution, so you have what, 400 times 24, we'll call it 600.
6,000?
6,000 times, so 6,000 for the subscription. And then what about the controller? How much is working with a controller for a year cost? Ballpark.
It will cost you anywhere from 10,000.
So 20,000 for 2 years. So we're looking at $32,000.
No, 10,000 a month.
A month.
Like if you're trying to have a fractional controller or CFO.
So $120,000. So basically $130,000 is what you should budget.
I think that's too much. Do you even
First
have
year.
that money for the first 2 years?
But I think it depends again, which is why we have to talk about benchmarks. Okay, here's an example. Just had your friend, or you know him at least, Jason Carrier on the show, opened Mama Betty's.
Yeah.
He did $5.4 million in the first year.
Sure.
He opened with a controller, a fractional controller, and enterprise solution.
Yeah.
And with that, and because he had that, he was able to look at the data, and he went from 5.4 to 6.5 million in revenue in a year because he was able to move and have data to make decisions.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're making 5.4 in the first year,
absolutely, why not?
And like you're able to outsource all accounting, and you're getting access to the data.
Yeah.
But he's also a 150 seat location.
But also Jason's a seasoned operator. Like he's ran bars for decades.
Perfect example of why it all depends.
Yeah, I think he understands. Right, he understands that. Oh, like these are the things that saves cost and save time and make more money.
I should not do.
That's right.
Right. So I think it's one of these things. But if you're a first time, you're 22 years old, you're picking yourself up by the bootstraps, you're sweat equitying the whole thing.
That's right.
Different scenario.
Yeah, I think I was looking at it from a perspective of an operator, first time operator, or running a food truck,
Right.
or going into a restaurant, first time franchisee that's doing, I don't know, anywhere from 500,000 to million. Like, you want to save as much as possible.
If you could figure out, if your first restaurant, if you can do the pro forma and you're good with numbers and you're a veteran of the industry and you can hire a CFO essentially with the cost of the software and the controller, you're basically having a CFO, like the equivalent, like early stage, you know what I'm saying? Like the closest thing to that. If you're a visionary, dreamer, like you and I are, and you suck at the numbers, like I think it's not a bad idea to start with an enterprise solution if you can make it happen.
I think depending on the budget set aside for your brand.
Right.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to win the conversation. I think what you're saying is truly valuable too. Like, it is expensive. So make sure the numbers work.
I agree. I think the setting aside 6 months of operating cost like that could be valuable. I do think that you do have a negotiating power. Let's say that, software is willing to invest in a smaller brands because they're also growing and they're adding numbers to their portfolio. It's worth signing a shorter term contract instead of a 1-year term contract where you have to pay the penalty to get out if you need to get out, right?
Right.
So
good things to know.
Yeah, and not going full out on getting all the services, but starting maybe with things that you need the most.
Right.
And like pick and choose, like a la carte item would be a better option.
Got it. Man, I'm loving the conversation, man. Anything that did not come out of today's conversation, now's the time to get it out. We got to think about wrapping it up to respect your time.
I think the 5-year question was a great question. What about you? Like, you're traveling. I know we talked about.
You did this to me in the first interview too. You like to turn the table, man.
Your 5-year plan.
My 5-year plan, man, is to achieve freedom of purpose, freedom of relationships, and to live out my mission. And I think the best way to do that is to focus on serving my listeners, and having more clarity on who I am and staying in my lane, of being a connector, of being a promoter, of being a community builder, and of putting the listener above all else. Like, that's what I want to do. So there's 3 ways to make money with a podcast: through sponsorship, through affiliate marketing, and through creating your own product and service and using your podcast to promote yourself. I don't have a product. I've never really had a product. But they say your network is your net worth. And I've spent the past 12 years building a word of mouth network that I want to promote the fuck out of.
Yeah.
Because I believe and trust these people, part of my language.
Yeah.
But I want to help good people connect with good people. And I recognize that you go further together. I'm not the guy who wants to be the coach or the consultant. I've done a lot of work to find out who those people are. And I want to help people who can't normally afford to work with those people get a little taste, help like crowdsource the mentorship, the experts, and like collectively, if a bit of every one of these people just gives it a little bit, those people who need the help can get it. And I'm ready to go, to work for those people. Like, who can I connect you to?
Yeah.
That's what excites me.
So your listeners, what are they looking for from every show?
That's something I could probably be better about listening to. But I think if I'm trusting my gut, they want to be there. I think most of my listeners are in the 1 to 3 unit range. And I think going forward, I'm trying to focus on single unit operators, or, not single unit, but single concept operators that are in the 10 to 20 ballpark range in terms of units. And then multi-concept operators who are in the 5 to 10 unit range. I think we can learn the most from those people, or my audience can learn the most from those people. So like, I think just trying to get to that, like, how do I get over 3 into 10 units? If I can help those people, I think that's where the most opportunity is. And I think that's where people need the most help right now.
Very cool.
Yeah. So did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Sweet, man. Thanks. So I am curious. Are you using U.S. Foods?
I am using Cisco.
Cisco.
Yes.
And how do you get the Dean and Peeler beef delivered to you? Because I know they carry Dean and Peeler.
So we've been with Cisco for 15 years.
Okay.
Since the start of Cilantro.
Yeah.
Same rep.
Yeah. Loyalty.
He's grown with the company.
Yeah.
So people who were sales rep are now managing, directing, the same people. So I think we are loyal. We've looked at other companies.
Yeah. Considering it?
We did consider. I think Cisco looks at us as like their child that helped have helped grown.
Yeah.
So
poster child.
like they
treat you well.
They treat us well.
Who's most appealing if you had to switch today?
Ooh, great question.
Who'd you almost switch to when you thought about switching?
U.S. Foods guys are great. I say this. You mentioned it, but U.S. Foods they're like a scientist within their house.
Yeah.
I remember like they visited us a few times, brought their like researchers and scientists, and they wanted to like research our food and how they can make an impact. I love that experience. PFG was one that we've also looked into.
Yeah.
So those three were top contenders recently for us.
Yeah. You mentioned the Dean and Peeler, and that's what made me wonder if you're using U.S. Foods. U.S. Foods is a sponsor. I didn't tell you that before rolling into today's conversation. I think I'm actually officially saying that now.
Yeah.
But I've been working on that relationship for like 2 years because I think the point I made
They're
earlier,
great people.
I'm trying to have freedom of relationships.
Yeah.
If I'm going to promote something, I want to believe in it. And whenever I'm driving across the country, see a lot of U.S. food trucks, and I'm always like asking people about the services and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think what they're doing is really cool to, also help distribution for small farms and things like that.
It is so hard to change distributors.
Right.
Because you're so linked
on
a day-to-day basis. I'm going to have to say, U.S. Foods was one of the top contenders for us recently.
Yeah.
We just decided to stay. And
I'm not forcing this testimonial.
You're not.
Okay.
That's the truth. I'm just telling you how it was recently.
All right, man. Let's wrap it up. I got a couple questions. We can say goodbye. This has been a lot of fun. What's one thing about your business, a value, a process, a system that makes you truly unstoppable?
I'll come back to our core values. We didn't talk about that enough today. But our core values are dedicated, authentic, resilient, and thankful.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I think that living by that core values on a day-to-day basis helps us improve and grow our brand.
Yep. The mission statement is to change the world through inspiring, empowering, and transforming the restaurant industry. If we can transform the restaurant industry, it ripples out from there. Such transformational influence in this industry. We're going to do that by changing one restaurant owner at a time. So how have you personally transformed? What is your one owner transformation been? How are you better today than the man you were when you got started? I think I can think of something.
Okay. You first.
You're better at putting your energy into doing what you're already doing better instead of focusing on growth.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that a good one? What were you going to say?
I think that's a great one. I was going to say patience.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Love it. Okay. The last question. If you got the news, you'd be leaving this world tomorrow. I asked you this question the last time, I'm pretty sure, too. You got the news, you'd be leaving this world tomorrow. All the memories of you, your work, and your restaurants will be lost with your departure, with the exception of 3 pieces of wisdom that you could leave behind for the good of humanity and your legacy. What would those 3 pieces of wisdom be?
I could think of one, which is love.
1.
Warmth.
2.
Respect.
3. This has been a lot of fun, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I find all my guests by having my current guests call somebody out.
Mm-hmm.
You know this market, you know the industry better than I do. Who do you respect and admire? Somebody that if there were a guest on the show, you'd be like, I want to hear that person's story. They're doing good work. They're growing. They're fiscally responsible.
Yeah.
They got a good reputation. Who's that for you?
I'm thinking of one person who's been my mentor, also CEO of Chewy, Steve Hislop. Like, he has just a full of wisdom, knowledge, experience.
How do you spell Hislop?
Hislop.
Hislop.
Uh-huh.
Hislop. Steven?
Steve. Uh-huh.
Okay. And keep going. Sorry, I cut you short. I'm gonna get him on the show if you can make it help. You can make it happen.
I could help you.
That would be awesome. Steve, look out! I'm coming after you. I'd love to get you on the show. And how can we connect with you, man? If we, maybe want to come join your team. Maybe, you're a company getting ready to grow. Maybe we're inspired by you, or maybe we just have a follow-up question. What's the best way? Or maybe we want to follow you.
I think everyone's got Instagram.
Yeah.
Jae Kim _Chi is my Instagram.
Okay.
That's probably the best place.
Website?
www.cilantrobbq.com.
Yeah. And I'm so happy we were able to reconnect, man. And thank you for
Same
entertaining my probing personal questions.
I love
it. It was a lot of fun
Great
to talk
questions.
to you. Yeah, man. Thank you. And when we last met, it was 2020.
Yeah.
March. I had a great time talking to you. After we wrapped up our first interview, do you remember inviting me to a festival that's some Texas thing? You were like, oh, this big thing is going to be happening. Have you ever been? You invited me to be your guest, and then the pandemic happened, man. I don't know if you remember that.
Was it Hot Luck?
Maybe. I can't remember what the event was.
Yeah.
I was more over my heels about how the coolest restaurateur in Austin invited me to be his guest to this social thing.
I think it was Hot Luck because was it around this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it must be Hot Luck.
It was right around this time, and you were like, hey, man, I think what you're doing is really cool. Why don't you come to this thing? I have an extra ticket. You can be my guest. I'll introduce you to some people. I thought I had made it. I was like, oh, man, this is awesome.
Sweet. Thanks.
And I just remember being so touched and grateful that you're going to be willing to invest more time in me and to establish a relationship with me. The pandemic happened.
Yeah.
We were that never happened. And I just wanted to let you know how excited I was,
thank
man.
you. Appreciate that.
The last time I was out here and how seen I felt and how lucky I was. And it means a lot to me that we were able to reconnect because I felt like we could have had something,
Let's begin it. Start it now.
Yeah. So
Thanks,
that was awkward. Anyway, this is special for me because I was really looking forward to the continued conversations I'd have with you.
Thanks for having me. And thanks for inviting me.
Yeah. Well, this is where I say I cannot do what I do without people like you. So being so willing to get open, get honest, get vulnerable. There is no questioning, my man. You are unstoppable.
We are unstoppable.
Cheers.
Cheers.